Welcome to Mark Who42's Whooniverse, Doctor Whooniverse, that is. I'm your host, Mark Baumgarten, and with me, as ever, is Christian-basel. Now, before I introduce our third person that's on the show today, I must say I hope that Ed and Trish, our two other regular co-hosts, are having fun on their little vacation. And we've brought in someone so that Christian and I aren't lonely. It's Meghan Laughlin. Hi, Meghan.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good.
So I understand you've been watching Doctor Who all weekend.
Yes, to satisfy my Doctor Who withdrawals.
Oh, yeah, the withdrawals. We have 6 months till the new episodes. Isn't that right, Christian?
Oh, yeah.
So I've been watching the classics.
Fix.
You need your fix. Yeah.
Moffat, I thought we had an agreement, man. Saturday, I was just walking around the house. I could watch that Rings of Akhatan again. Oh.
I've been watching the classic episodes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent. Classic is classic. I'll tell you that.
Mainly, I just finished with the story arc of the Black Guardian with the Fifth Doctor.
Oh, okay. What do you think of Turlough? What do you think of Turlough's character?
Well, he's okay.
Oh.
I don't really understand what he was there for, but he was there to kill the Doctor. But
he was there because he needed a new story idea.
It wasn't it could have been better.
Oh, it totally could have been better.
Actually, Meghan,
I think attention was taken from the Doctor. But
yeah. But
actually, Meghan, if you read any of the stories where they interview Mark Strickland and the cast after the Black Guardian stories, they just kept locking up Turlough somewhere. He got locked up in jail, or he was in there was a cliff or something like that, and it caved in. They didn't know what to do with him afterwards, so they always kind of locked him up, and they were like, and Mark Strickland's going, I don't know what to do after this.
That's what he'd say on the commentaries. He's like, I'm gonna be on my knees the whole time.
Yeah, he said, I want to explore this character at, post Black Guardian, but they just never wrote anything, so they
did better with him in the audios.
No,
yes.
Yeah, in the audios, definitely. They do everyone
just like Mel.
They do everyone better in the audios, The Big Finish audios are amazing.
I listen to them all the time.
Yeah, I know. I watch on Facebook that you've been watching Gallifrey.
I love that series.
It's a great series. I love how they brought Mary Tam into the late.
I'm stuck on series 3 though, so I don't know what happens after that. So.
Oh, well, you got to keep
sinks. Going. Yeah, after it hits the iceberg, the ship sinks. That's all.
And they end up in a time lock.
Well, I need to hear series 4 and 5 before I get to series 6, which won't be released till October.
Oh, just in time for the anniversary. Okay, you know what time it is, folks? It's time for the news with our guest commentary personality, Meghan Laughlin.
Hello.
Hi, Meghan.
Hi.
That was my impersonation of Ed.
Oh God!
In a British accent?
It was my worst accent I could come up with.
I actually think that's Ed's accent, so it doesn't matter.
Ed's not British though, unless
Ed's not British. He does that. He does that.
Don't give that away.
To introduce. Oh, it's not Ed. It's someone else doing the news. Yeah, no. So, Meghan, what kind of news do we have on this slow news week?
On your knees, man.
Well, because there's no new Doctor Who, news has been rather slow, but John Barrowman said why his character is Face of Bow.
Oh, yes. Jack is Face of Bow. I believe that's not only since what they've said in Doctor Who, but also in Torchwood. I mean, he said his name was Bo when he was a child. That's what they call him.
He said how Jack gets to be the face of Bo is open to lots of speculation. I think it's a result of Jack's unique kind of aging process, and in the end all is left is flesh and blood in his big head. And then it adds...
John Barrowman does have a big head.
Yes, he does.
Oh, we were talking about Jack. I'm sorry, not John.
You mean ego-wise? Yeah.
Ego-wise, John, it's got a big head.
Is that code?
It's code for.
That's code.
Piece of Bo.
Okay.
We just slapped on a PG-13 rating for this episode.
But it adds, Barrowman won't be back for the 50th anniversary, but he would still like to see Jack finally meet Matt Smith's Doctor. Quoting, Jack would be happy to travel with the 11th Doctor. Oh, that I'd like to see. He'd be flirting with him nonstop.
Oh, he totally would be flirting with him, and who knows what Matt would do back.
He flirts with anything with a pulse.
Oh, I'd love to see Jack and River.
Jack and River. Hey, we've been talking about a spin-off for the trio, Strax, Vastra, and Jetty. Maybe we should have a spin-off with River and Jack. I think that they would be cool together. I mean, they were both in Arrow, of course not in the same scenes, but it'd be sexuality completely an adult Doctor Who again, like Torchwood, but a little bit more adult.
The whole dialogue is just innuendos. That's it.
Innuendos between River and Jack.
It's called innuendos.
I don't think they get any work done.
Actually, I think they already did
Nobody
that show. It was called Moonlighting. I think the show was called Moonlighting that we were expecting.
I don't think I saw that.
Oh, I used to watch Moonlighting. I love David and Maddie. David and Maddie. Oh, yeah, if you hear that noise back there, we're recording this in a construction yard.
No, my
the budget's gone downhill.
TARDIS console's...
Oh, the TARDIS console is exploding. Okay.
This is my companion. She won't listen.
She's one of many who won't listen.
What else? What other news stories do we have?
Bernard Cribbins has said he would love to return. And when he asked, they said, well, no, we're shooting at the moment. Maybe something later on. But at the moment, no.
See, that's too bad, because I think Wilf would be perfect for the 50th anniversary. Because he and also it would tie in the movie Doctors, because, he was in Dalek Invasion Earth 2150 AD, which is coming out on Blu-ray. Cannot wait to get that.
Not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens.
Bernard Cribbins and the guy who played Brian Pond would be perfect together. Because they're both very supportive, loyal fathers.
Oh, yeah.
Stephen Moffat has spoken about Series 8 and how long he intends to remain head writer.
Oh, you mean he's gonna continue being a head writer? We're not getting someone else? Steven!
Hold on. Shh.
Oh.
Because we have quite a long way ahead of us in advance. The next season is plotted out. I always end up complaining about it, but it's quite fun. I'm just making up nonsensical adventures. What's wrong with that?
He is making up nonsense.
Well, you need to have 2-parters and it had a story arc, and there you go. And then he said, as a joke, he said, "Forever, we're not letting anyone else do it." And then he added, "You take a year at a time. That's all you can do. It's such a commitment. It's 9 or 10 months of year of work, so I think you can only really do that a year at a time." Anyway, and you start thinking of legacy now. We've got time to think about that when people have forgotten this. We just want it to be great. All I ever worry about is the show that's coming out on Saturday.
Okay, but of course there is no show coming out on Saturday.
No.
So essentially, he's giving John Nathan Turner a run for his money. Is that what he's trying to say?
That's what he's basically saying.
I'm leaving? No, not this year, but next year. No.
I have read a rumor or something from Chris Chibnall that in terms of him becoming showrunner, that he would love to do it. I don't know if that's true.
And then there's an interview with Gemma Redgrave where she was talking about her role as Kate Stewart in the 50th anniversary, and she said that she couldn't talk about it at all with her children. She said that if I tell you anything at all, I'll have to kill you and kill myself. I wasn't even allowed to tell my children. I was actually in it for about 4 or 5 weeks. Once we filmed in Trafalgar Square, I knew it would be impossible to keep under wraps, but you do what you do. I was going to work and not being able to tell anyone what I was doing. It was like joining bloody MI6.
Well, MI6 in unit? Yeah, similarities.
And then she adds, what can I tell you? It's absolutely bloody brilliant. I think it's an astonishing script. Stephen Moffat is an outrageously good writer, and always with Doctor Who. It is philosophical, it's deep, it's an adventure story, and if you're a kid, you're going to be taken on an extraordinary ride. It raises all sorts of interesting questions for anyone that wants to go deeper with it. It's funny, and then the sixpence, it breaks your heart. It's just wonderful. Okay. That's all for the news.
All right. Thank you very much, Megan. Just to let you guys know, we haven't seen it yet because we're recording this beforehand, but this week, the Fifth Doctor Revisited was on today, later on for us, but in the past for you guys, and you got to watch Earthshock, which, in my estimation, is most important because Adric dies, and because Ed's not on the show, I can say, woohoo! Oh, I hated Adric.
You monster.
Who cares about the Cybermen? Adric dies! Yay, spoiler alert. Boing, bing. Oh, yeah, who cares?
I saw that.
Yeah, well, that's on
mid-80s,
Sunday
really?
night. It was on Sunday night, yeah. And, Peter Davison was interviewed, and some of the companions. But, yeah, the most important thing is that Adric died in that story. Oh, Beryl Reid was great as the ship's captain, but still, Adric dying. I mean, the Cybermen breaking out and all of them marching out and kind of like the tomb of Cybermen. It was brilliant too, but Adric died. So, it's fun all around.
What was interesting was the ending. And when I was a kid watching that, it kind of like freaked me out a little bit because the ending didn't have the Starfield, here's Peter Davison's head and the stars go out. It was that little star that was broken up.
The badge of mathematics.
Adric's badge that was used to stop the Cybermen. He used the badge because it was made of gold, and then you see it in little pieces there, and all of a sudden the credits are rolling, there's no music. So it kind of, for me, it was, as a kid, it freaked me out. Today it was just like, oh.
Did it really freak you out as a child? Because when I saw that episode, and, when I saw that episode, I was, 17, 18, maybe 16, somewhere in that age. I took TV production classes back then, and I was like, I am going to take this episode, and I'm going to edit in, put on a happy face, the music over the end credits. Because
You're just sadistic, that's all it is.
I was a sadistic child, yeah, what can I say? It was brilliant. Okay.
I enjoyed it a lot. I'm okay with Adric being gone. I hated him arguing with the Doctor
Thank you, yes.
I mean, I understand teenage boy, but still.
Teenage boy. That's just annoying.
Teenage genius boy trying to outdo the Doctor doesn't work.
No. And especially because we had another genius on board the TARDIS at the same time. Nyssa was, another teenage genius girl. And she worked far better than Adric.
She actually helped the Doctor. The Adric was trying.
You're right.
Well, I was
she
kind of that
actually
age,
helped
so
the Doctor. Adric was just, like in Black Orchid, just stuffed his face. He had nothing else to do in that episode but eat. He was a pig. And then he was a sexist pig to them in 40 Doomsday.
I just wanted to.
I just wanted to kick him in the teeth. Yeah.
I wanted to put him on a Dalek fleet ship and have them shoot him.
Well, they did enough. They put on a Cyberman fleet.
They put him on the Cyberman ship. They didn't listen to you for the Daleks. They gave him to the second. They wouldn't give him to the most important villains of the show. They gave him to the second most.
Or I would have let President Romana yell at him.
I was growing up at that age. I was like, I wasn't staring at Adric or the Doctor anymore. I was staring at Nyssa and said, give her more scenes, please. And skimpier outfits as much as possible.
I wasn't born yet.
Put her in a Leela outfit, please.
Born yet? God, I'm an old man, it seems.
Hello.
In this show. I
love Leela. Leela's awesome.
You like the black and white episodes, Mark? How was that premiere?
Yeah. Where do I go from here? Except say we have a special.
I was born during the seventh Doctor time.
Oh, you were born during Sylvester?
Yeah.
Oh.
88. So.
Oh my God! I'm a child. You're a child. What are you doing on our show?
Because I love classic episodes.
Okay. Let me try to get back to steer this back on track here. We're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we've got our special segment that we recorded at the Hurricane Who Series 7 finale party. I interviewed a bunch of people, a bunch of Whovians, about their favorite moments of Doctor Who, what they thought of Series 7, and a few other questions. And it's going to be fun, entertaining, and you'll love it. So we're going to go to that commercial break, and when we come back, we've got real live Whovians talking Who. We'll be right back. Doctor Who may be off our airwaves until November, but you don't have to do without the Doctor during his 50th anniversary year. When the show was originally off the air during the 1990s and early 2000s, Virgin Publishing and BBC Books released original novels featuring all of the past Doctors and companions. Though now out of print, you can pick them up from markwho42 Books. The books are all in excellent condition and ready to ship right away. Whether to read or just finish your collections, go to amazon.com/shops/markwho42. That's amazon.com/shops/markwho42.
Do you like retro shows? Did you grow up in either the 80s or the 90s? Then tune into Telecast, geekcastradio.com's newest podcast. Join us here on the Telecast as we revisit some of your favorite shows, such as Clarissa Explains It All, Salute Your Shorts, Saved by the Bell, and much, much more, only on geekcastradio.com.
Pixels in the Animation is the next cartoon review podcast series in the Geekcast Radio Network's long history of review series. We've had Transformers, He-Man, and Mask as far as the cartoon review podcasts we have done. Now we bring in TV's Mr. Neil as he and TFG and Mike break down 9 video game cartoon series. Steve Megatron will join us for the Mega Man and Sonic episodes. We will be reviewing and analyzing every episode of the Mario, Zelda, Captain N, Mega Man, Donkey Kong, and Sonic cartoons. You can expect us to go in-depth and also talk about the game franchises that spawned these cartoons. So tune in summer 2013 as we find the pixels in the animation.
Last week, Christian and I went to a Series 7 finale party in Orlando, and there were 200 people in attendance. I went around with my trusty tape recorder and asked them a few questions about Name of the Doctor, as well as 50th anniversary. Let's take a listen. What's your name?
My name's David.
Hey, David. Are you a classic Whovian or a new Whovian or
New Whovian.
So who's your favorite Doctor so far?
Matt Smith.
Matt Smith? Why?
He just seems to kind of know what he's doing, and even when he doesn't, he makes it up as he goes along.
What's your favorite episode?
My favorite episode is actually the one I referred to all new Whovians who want to try to maybe get into it, and it's Blink. The episode I don't like was the episode that they took in the submarine.
Okay, Cold War?
Yes, that
one.
You
didn't like Cold War?
No, I just found it to be kind of blah, one of those ones that, if they hadn't made it, it would have been just fine.
What do you think of Rings of Akhatan?
I really liked that one. That was Clara's first mission with the Doctor, and she seemed to do really well. I thought she would fit in really well, and I absolutely loved the episode, and the sets and everything were absolutely amazing.
What's your name?
Bob.
Bob?
Yazel.
Who's your favorite Doctor?
John Pertwee.
John Pertwee?
Yeah, third Doctor.
Third Doctor.
Uh-huh.
What was your favorite episode that he did?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
They were all really classics. I would say the Demons was probably the best Doctor Who story of the whole series. Really.
Who's your favorite companion?
Well, actually, I think the very first companions were the hardest act to beat. That was
Ian, Susan, and Barbara.
Ian and Barbara.
Ian and Barbara.
Yeah, they were a tough act to follow.
They were a tough act to follow.
They could carry the shows by themselves, which sometimes they had to do when
they did?
Cardinal wasn't on. I think that was a real true test of it.
Yeah.
And beyond that,
are you excited about the 50th anniversary coming up?
Well, yeah, 50th anniversary. Yeah, it's a good year for 50 years. Actually, another favorite TV show, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, is the 50th anniversary.
Oh, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea is a great show.
The Outer Limits, we're having the 50th anniversary of that one. And,
wow.
Yeah, so
I didn't realize Outer Limits was coming up.
Didn't realize how old. Yeah, Outer Limits sort of fell in the cracks here. We're actually at the Oasis convention. We're going to be in the video room running a couple of the top episodes of it from.
Oh, good.
As a kind of salute to the 50th anniversary. I say 64th, 50th for Voyage, but it's dating us all. We're all none of us getting younger. I can say I was a fan when Doctor Who first came on. I would say I was a fan during the first Doctor days. Not that I saw the show or lived in England, but I had first gotten books, and then I saw the movies with Peter Cushing.
Yeah.
And then saw Pertwee when they had that limited release. And then it was kind of a dry spell until I got to conventions, started seeing some of the others. Our own local station finally picked it up, and been watching them ever since.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Jay Thomas.
Hi, Jay.
Hi.
Hi. We just watched The Name-of-the-Docto. What do you think?
Oh my gosh, mind-boggling. So many things fell into perspective that I didn't understand.
You didn't understand them?
No, like the Impossible Girl. I was getting so frustrated this whole season. Who is she? What is going on? And so at the start of the episode, right when I saw her, when they were showing her go through the things, it was starting to make sense. I was like, okay, I understood what they were going to do. I just didn't know how it was going to happen, and I definitely didn't understand. I didn't think that they'd be going into his own timeline. So all I knew was that River was going to be here, and that I saw her tomb. So I didn't know what to expect from that. I didn't see any spoilers or anything. So
okay.
Yeah, I don't watch spoilers.
Are you now excited about the 50th anniversary?
I am. Yes, very much excited. Yes. I'm also confused because they told me that I don't get it because I didn't see spoilers.
Right.
They said because the new Doctor, old Doctor.
The rumor is that John Hurt's character was the Doctor between Paul McGann and Christopher Eccleston.
Yes.
So Eccleston is really the 9th Doctor, and the 10th Doctor, and that makes Matt Smith the 12th Doctor.
Yes, which also they're going to have to explain because you're only supposed to have 11 reincarnations.
The 12, right?
Yeah, the 12. Yeah, and so they're going to have to explain to go further, which I think River's going to have to go in there since she gave up her, Time Lord.
Yeah, well.
So they can have more reincarnations.
Right.
So.
Well, she did give up of her regenerations to save the Doctor in Let's Kill Hitler.
Yeah, she gave up her regenerations in there, and that was pretty crazy watching her do that.
He may have now have multi-regenerations.
More regenerations from that, so he can go past the 12th Doctor. So they're going to have to explain that in there, though.
I'm in front of 3 very pretty young girls. What is your name?
Ansley. Carolise. Rachel.
Now, Rachel, has anyone ever told you look like Amelia Pond?
No.
Well, you do. So, you girls started watching Doctor Who recently. So you like Matt Smith? Is that your favorite Doctor?
No, my favorite Doctor is David Tennant.
And yours?
I'd say David Tennant too. It used to be David Tennant, but I think now is Matt Smith.
You've gone to Matt Smith. You've converted. Okay. So what did you think of tonight's episode of the Name-of-the-Docto?
It was very funny and unique. Yeah.
It was.
My favorite one. Creepy yet good.
Okay. Do you like the Daleks?
A little. I like how my favorite one of the Daleks was when Rose pretty much vanished from I'm pretty sure it's the Emperor.
Oh yeah.
Which he made him soft. Nice. Same with me with Ansley.
Okay. Are you pretty excited about the 50th anniversary coming up?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah?
Oh, and by the way, Ansley and me are sisters.
Oh, your sisters?
And by the way, my mom is as old as Dr. Hill, 50 years old.
Ah, okay. Your name?
Dawn.
Hi, Dawn. So what did you think about Name of the Doctor?
That was a lot of fun. It was, I think, for me, it was better than the episodes, some of the episodes leading up to it. I was not really excited about some of the season, but I think it was an improvement.
It was an improvement? Well, do you think it was the best episode of the season?
Definitely, yeah.
Are you a classic Whovian, or are you just like the new series?
I started watching when it was Tom Baker. And
okay, good.
Well, don't ask me to remember a lot because it's been a long time.
That's fine, but your favorite Doctor?
Well, it used to be Tom Baker, but I'm sorry, David Tennant stole my heart.
David Tennant, okay, good. Well, your favorite monster or villain of the whole 50-year shebang?
Wow, favorite monster. There's so many to choose from. And every time somebody asked me that question once before, and the last time I answered afterwards, I said I should have said no. There's so many good ones to choose from. The last time I answered that question, my answer was Weeping Angels, but
let's go before the Weeping Angels.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. There was one that I thought of before that, and I'm trying to remember now, and of course under pressure I can't. There's so many good ones to choose from now.
There are.
That's the problem.
Okay. Let's make this easier. Okay, let me throw some at. No, let me throw some at you. Sutek. Do you remember Sutek?
I'm thinking.
Fourth Doctor, Pyramid of Mars.
Oh my God, that's right. Yeah, I did see that, but that just kind of left my head entirely.
Okay. What would you like to happen in the 50th anniversary?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm looking forward to having David Tennant back for a while. That'll be a nice treat. I have no idea where they're heading with it though, so I'm not really sure what to expect.
What do you think of John Hurt as the Doctor?
That's going to be interesting. I don't know where they're going with that either, but that's going to be interesting.
I'm with Arthur Dykeman. Hi, Arthur.
Hi there.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
What do you think of Name of the Doctor?
Oh, I was thrown for a loop, particularly right down to John Hurt at the end. Wow.
Yeah, that was supposed to be a rumor that now seems to be real.
There we are.
John Hurt is the Doctor. That's a little scary.
And now, needless to say, opening up that wonderful thing, obviously he's going to be the focus, as well as, of course, as we know, Mr. Tennant's participating as well.
Right.
But I'm really looking forward. I'm really looking forward to the anniversary special.
What did you think of this season as a whole?
There were a few nits. The children showing up at the end of Crimson Horror and throughout the Cyberman episode. It could have been done a little better, but overall, I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed what they did. But I see where they were trying to go in a lot of areas, and some cylinders fired, but they could have done a little better. But these are relatively small nits, as I really loved it, particularly Gaiman's writing and what they've done with the Cybermen. Wonderful.
Good. Okay. Now I have to ask this because, it's for a reason that I'll get to in a minute. What did you think of Rings of Akhatan?
I thought it worked best as a fantasy. I find a lot of use of science fiction with Doctor Who, and I think that's wrong. I think it's at least it's more predominantly fantasy with science fiction trappings, and a lot of stories work better as concepts, allegory, satire.
Okay.
And I thought Rings of Akhatan worked a lot better that way. Perhaps not as meticulous, kind of a meticulous hard edge, like say Bells of St. John.
Right.
But I felt as a bigger than life loose fantasy piece.
Right.
That's how it worked for me, and particularly the way they used music and song with music with
it.
Okay.
The reason I ask is we gave it a bad review. We totally thought we put it at the bottom of the list of the season, and I was just wondering what someone who has worked with Guardians of Gallifrey, the Orlando Doctor Who Club, would think of that. And it wasn't just so. Was it just us, or was it?
I could easily see that. I've heard other reviews of the going the same direction as far as not quite firing it with a lot of people.
Right.
But as I can only speak for myself, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
And it was great. I can see where it may have lacked in some areas.
What's your name?
Heather Young.
Bill Young.
What did you think of Name of the Doctor?
I was pretty blown away by it. I wasn't prepared to hear about what happened with River. Out of everything I read online about who Clara might be, from her being part of the Bad Wolf to her being his daughter, I was not prepared.
There were a lot of rumors, but it did come together in the end. Are both of you classic Whovians or are you new Whovians?
New Whovians.
New Whovians.
Since Eccleston, yeah.
Okay, so of your favorite of the last three Doctors?
I'd have to say Eccleston because he was my first, but I like Tennant and Smith as well.
And you?
Equally.
Smith is my favorite, all-time favorite. He was my first Doctor, and although I've watched Eccleston and Tennant, I like them, but Smith is my Doctor.
You like Smith?
Yeah.
What's your favorite episode of this season? Was it Name of the Doctor, or did you like a different episode better?
I liked, what was the one where they had Strax in the last one?
The Crimson Horror?
I really like Strax, so...
Strax is cool. We at MarkWho42's Universe we like the trio to get their own show. We're petitioning to get...
I would completely watch that. I just love him, and I love the three of them together. The comedy really just makes the show.
They haven't done enough breakout for the Smith universe. They did a lot with the Tennant universe.
Yeah. Are you guys excited about the 50th anniversary?
Most definitely. We're actually trying to go to Comic-Con so that we can see, because we know they're there. They were there last year. They were there 2 years ago. We're hoping to go this summer so that we can hear any spoilers that they might have.
There are probably more detailed spoilers and probably official ones.
Exactly.
Yeah. The stuff we get on the net's usually.
And there's always a chance you might bump into Matt in the bathroom.
Oh, there you go. I don't know if you could actually bump into Matt.
No, not you.
No, but
you could bump into Amy or Clara. I would come out and you would go running in. He's in there. Where?
What do you think about this revelation that John Hurt is the Doctor?
Wow, I'm just blown away. I don't even know where he would fall in the timeline. Like, would he be the 15th or the 20th Doctor?
The rumor is that he was the Doctor between McGann and Eccleston.
Okay.
They're actually pushing the Doctors back.
Okay.
And that this Doctor wasn't, they don't consider
because
it
they never showed Eccleston regenerating, so you don't know who he came from.
Right. So they've been hinting about that on the net. I don't know if that's true. That could be false.
Okay.
But it's interesting, and he's definitely not the Valyard, but I guess you wouldn't know who the there was a Valyard reference. You guys, the Sixth Doctor in Trial of a Time Lord came up against his self between the 12th and 13th regeneration, and he was trying to steal the previous Doctor's lives to live longer, and it was the dark side of the Doctor. So and he called himself the Valyard.
Okay.
So that's what that line.
So that's the references that they're making when they say the Storm, the Valyard. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But I guess you guys wouldn't know that because
now we do.
Now you know. Yes, that's us at MarkWho42 teaching people about the Whooniverse.
My name's Josh.
Hi, Josh.
Hey.
Okay. First of all, what do you think of the Name of the Doctor?
The Name of the Doctor was great. I thought that the name of the episode meant more about what the Doctor meant rather than his actual name.
What did you think about the John Hurt thing? Have you been following the rumors? Do you know anything about the John Hurt storyline?
I've been following the John Hurt rumors. You want me to spill what I know?
You can spill it because we had the spoiler alert. We're going on spoilers. You can say whatever you want.
What I've seen is that he's rumored to be a misplaced regeneration, like he might be 9, where the rest we have are 10, 11, and 12.
Right.
He's just a forgotten regeneration from the Time War.
And because of what he did in the Time War, his future selves may not consider themselves.
Right.
Can we get the past participles right here?
Well, the Great Intelligence mentioned bloodshed and how the man just got too old. That has to have something to do with it.
Yeah, definitely. What have you thought about this season as a whole?
Oh, I love this season. I love the whole.
You love the whole
season?
season?
I loved all of it. Yeah, because each episode was like a big blockbuster movie format. Although I was disappointed that there were no two-parters.
Yeah, there were no two-parters, and that was very upsetting. We thought that Cold War would have been much better, and the Cybermen one.
Yeah, see, I think Cybermen and TARDIS deserve the extensions.
Are you excited still about the 50th anniversary with no previous actors, or is that a lie? Do you think it's a lie? Are you disappointed that only David Tennant's going to be in it, or?
See, it's a different story now that we've seen the other Doctors in this episode.
Exactly.
That sets up a whole nother playing field, I think, to where they can bring in the old footage and do the same thing if they have to and if they want to.
Yeah, they can do that because they're inside the time stream.
Exactly.
They ended it inside the time stream.
They didn't leave.
They're still in it.
They're just there.
Yeah, I 15 minutes before it was over, I'm going, Clara's going in there, and we're going to stay there. That's what I was thinking when I.
Oh, you thought they were going to stay there?
I thought they were going to stay in there. I didn't get him following her in there. I thought she was gonna. When she was gonna run into Tennant.
Right.
That's what I thought. I thought Tennant was going to show up in it.
We didn't see 9 or 10 at all.
No. What is your name?
Morgan.
Morgan. What did you think about the name of the Doctor?
Well, we don't know his name. I thought it was Please for a minute, though, when the doors open. I'm like, that can't be it.
No, but what do you think of the episode?
I thought it was really good. I'm still a little skeptical about things right now.
Okay.
I was going into this episode under the impression that he could possibly be the Master.
Well.
Yeah. The last episode, watching it, with a split personality.
That's a good point.
He was acting a lot like the Master.
Well, he was acting a lot like the John Sim Master. So you're a newbie then. You're not an old series. Okay.
I'm trying to get a hold of the older stuff, but it's kind of hard since they were destroyed.
Well, no, but there are a lot of older stuff that still exists. The Tom Bakers are all in existence. The John Pertwees. I mean, really, it's just the William Hartnell and the Patrick Troutons.
And that's what I'm trying to get a hold of.
Oh, but have you seen the other ones? Have you seen some of the?
Yes, some of the others, but not all.
Who's your favorite Doctor?
That's a hard one.
It's a hard one? Okay, well, let's go new series because you're a newbie. If you're of the 3 that you can choose from, or even add John Hurd if you want 4, who is your favorite Doctor?
10.
David Tennant.
Yes.
David Tennant. Now, of course, he could be number 11 now. Everyone may have the numbers in their head wrong. All the Facebook posts may be wrong now.
True.
Everyone calling him 11 and he's 12.
David Tennant.
Yeah, with number 10.
Currently known as 10.
Currently known as 10. That's what we'll call him. The Doctor currently known as 10. What have you thought about this season in general?
I thought it was really good. Very interesting with how they have taken Clara from Asylum of the Daleks to now. So.
Okay. What did you think of Rings of Akhatan? And be honest.
I actually thought it was pretty interesting, but I can never get the name of the episode right because I keep thinking Asgard. So.
Right. I am for Doctor number. And last question, the question I'm asking everybody, of course. If you were showrunner, Matt Smith's leaving, who would you put in as Doctor Who?
I am actually not sure who I would pick to be the new Doctor.
Okay.
There's so many people out there. I don't know who would be like the best person that I would pick to be the new Doctor. I'd have to do some research.
Okay. I really want James Nesbitt.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Okay, I can totally see that.
Okay. For your listeners, probably familiar with, of course, Jekyll.
Right.
And
Murphy's Law.
Murphy's Law. Exactly.
Yeah.
But James Nesbitt, if they ever want to go a little more intensity, maybe just a sliver more darker, I think he'd be great for that if it occurs to them.
Okay.
I think he would be probably my dad.
Your dad?
His dad does have a Doctor Who haircut.
Oh.
Not like all the Doctor stuff. What's his name? David Tennant.
David Tennant? Okay.
I keep hearing Tom Hiddleston. I don't want to see that. I want to see younger. Let's go Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh, yeah, that would work.
I don't have anyone in particular that I would like to see take that role.
We're not getting many people able to answer that question.
Yeah.
One little girl said her dad. So I know that was a nice answer.
That's an interesting answer. Somebody, I had seen somebody online say they wished for the actor who played Sherlock to take that role.
Oh, Benedict, yeah.
Yeah, exactly him.
Yeah.
And I thought that would be an interesting choice. I don't see it happening, but that would be interesting for sure.
Well, I mean, Moffat writes for both series. Why not?
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen.
I would say because he's such a versatile actor and still young looking. Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy is...
He played the villain in Red Eye. He also played Professor Jonathan Crane and Scarecrow in Batman.
Gotcha. I know who we're talking about now. Okay.
I could pick anybody.
Anybody.
He would be a very dark Doctor, but Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we've heard that answer before.
Yeah.
Oh. Honestly?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a hard one. Every time we get a new Doctor, I just think that they are the perfect Doctor, so I never think about in advance who to put for it. Like,
okay,
so
fair
like,
enough.
yeah. So like right now, like, all the girls, they all love,
They all love Matt Smith.
Yeah, but like I love him as the Doctor right now.
Right.
So honestly, like, I never picture anybody as the Doctor until they are the Doctor.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Okay.
I'd like to thank everybody who went to Series 7 finale party with Hurricane Who, especially those who participated in the previous interviews. But before we go to a commercial break, I got a chance to talk to Jared Cooper, no relation to Sheldon, who is the mastermind behind Hurricane Who. We talked to him about upcoming events such as the summer party they're having, as well as Category 4.
Jared, the event went really well. Really well. I had a good time here. Drove all the way up from Miami. And I know in a couple of weeks you've got the summer party.
Slumber party?
Summer party.
Oh, I thought you said the slumber party.
No, I'm pretty sure you don't have a Doctor Who slumber party.
No.
Would you like one?
No.
No.
I like my sleep, thank you. Hurricane Who Summer Night in a month?
It's about 2 weeks now as the broadcast.
Yeah. It's Saturday, June 15th.
Okay.
Dan Starkey, Pamela Salem, Scott Tepperman, and Dr. Lynette Porter.
Okay, and of course, we know one of those people is Strax.
Yes. Potato Head himself.
Good old Potato Head. Should the three of them get their own series?
I think that's what they're pushing for.
Yeah?
Look at the Crimson Horror. That was a backdoor pilot if there ever was one.
Yeah, Gary Seven style.
Oh, more blatant than Gary Seven. I'm talking when the Golden Girls went to the hospital and the guy from Empty Nest walked out. That big of a backdoor pilot.
Okay, so you think it's sold already then?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, of course, we have coming up in November, Category 4 of Hurricane Who.
Yes, scary.
Scary. Who's going to be there?
That's a good question. I have to count from the top. Fraser Hines, Daphne Ashbrook, Tommy Knight, Gareth David Lloyd, Terrence Dix. From Star Trek Deep Space Nine, we have Chase Masterson and Aaron Eisenberg. From The Walking Dead, we have Michael Kosk, Paul Bradford from Ghost Hunters International, Tony Lee. I remember Tony Lee's coming. Who am I forgetting? There's 14 of them, and I forget people.
Okay, well, we'll be talking about that. Maybe we'll have you on the podcast closer to the date.
Yeah, it's not that I don't love them.
Okay.
I have finals, and I can't remember things.
What did you think of Name of the Doctor?
It was a bit more of a setup to the 50th anniversary than I thought it would be.
Right.
It was nice to see the return of the overarching plot. I wasn't expecting as many classic references to come in as we expected.
Right.
I'm wondering if this might be throwing the classic fans a bone for things that aren't going to be featured in the special.
Speaking about the special, which are you looking more forward to? The TV special or the Big Finish audio?
The Big Finish audio.
Because that's got all the Doctors in it.
Actually, Peter Davison said last year at the convention that if the BBC didn't invite them to do a special, he was going to film his own. That's the one I'm looking forward to.
Okay. Cool. All right. Thank you, Jared. I appreciate your candidness.
No, I try to be open, honest. I'm waiting on the 50th anniversary novel, too. It's not been announced, but you know it's coming.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We'd like to thank Jared for talking with us. And if you are going to be in the Orlando area, please go to Hurricane Who Category 4 in November, and of course the summer party on June 15th. But you know what? Jared left out a very important guest of Category 4 because he wasn't confirmed. Colin Baker. Yes, Colin Baker, the 6th Doctor, will be at Hurricane Who Category 4 this November. So you've got to go. Even if you're not going to be in the Orlando area, you've got to go anyway. It's going to be great. We'll be right back after this commercial message.
Come to Florida SuperCon July 4th through the 7th for the largest comic book, video game, anime, and sci-fi convention around. Meet George Takei and stars from The Walking Dead, Firefly, and the original Power Rangers. Meet the stars of Adventure Time, Pokemon, One Piece, Soul Eater, Invader Zim, and Aqua Teen. Meet the comic book artists of Superman, Spider-Man, and The Watchmen. There's live music and entertainment over 4 days at Florida SuperCon July 4th through the 7th. Visit FloridaSuperCon.com.
Hey, I'm Gary.
I'm Mike.
I'm Chuck.
And I'm Justin. Join the four of us every week on the internet's #1 and longest-running G.I. Joe podcast, What's on Joe Mind?
It's Joe news, reviews, and interviews like you've never heard them before, delivered right to your MP3 player.
Our guests include Jason Marsden, Kevin Michael Richardson, and Matt Yang King from G.I. Joe Renegades, Larry Hama, Robert Adkins, and John Barber from IDW Publishing, and many more from around the online Joe community.
Yeah, it's guys talking about Joe. Think of it as Joe Talk meets sports talk. And we make fun of Chuck.
Right, and we... Hey, again?
Come on, Chuck. We're just kidding. Kinda.
Sometimes Chuck makes fun of himself.
Right, and we... Okay, seriously, this is just getting ridiculous now.
It's What's on Joe Mind, every week on the Geekcast Radio Network, InsidePulse.com, Stitcher Smart Radio, and iTunes. Download and listen today.
I suppose I still can't say something about Transformers, can I?
Good.
No. What about sports?
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's all right.
And we're back. Welcome back to markwho42's Whooniverse. I'm Mark Baumgarten, and with me is Christian-basel and Meghan Laughlin. Hi, guys. Back. We haven't heard from you in a few minutes because we've been doing the Hurricane Who stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. What do you think of those interviews?
I thought they were great.
They're awesome.
Yeah, and Christian, you were there with me. You should have done some of them.
Next year.
Yeah, maybe next year during the Series 8 finale party. No, we're going to try to have one down here. I'm going to try to do one down in South Florida. But that's another story for another time. Of course, I wanted to let everyone know that we are going to, the markwho42's Whooniverse will be at Florida SuperCon in Miami, July 4th through 7th. And we've got a panel that on the Saturday night on the 6th at 6:15 in room 202. So be there, and we'll also have other panels, including a panel that we call "No Snogging in the TARDIS: Sexuality in Doctor Who," and that should be a fun little panel that we're going to do there.
Oh, and I have to miss that.
An hour?
Oh, Megan, you can fly over. You know, Miami is a fun place to visit, not to live. I'm not sure why I'm here, but it's a fun place to visit.
I've only been to Florida once.
Oh, have you?
And I was 12. But I would love to come for a Doctor Who convention.
Oh, it's a Florida SuperCon. It's a convention that covers all bases. We got George Takei coming. We got stars of do anime voices. We have comic writers and artist Dave Gibbons, who used to do the Doctor Who comic strip.
Do they have those cosplays?
Yeah, cosplay. Oh, there's going to be a special Doctor Who cosplay masquerade party.
I want to do that.
Can't wait to see that. I'm going to be attending that. Not
I
dressed up. I'm not going to dress up, but I'm definitely going to go to that.
I'd dress up, but that's just me.
Christian, you totally. I know you said you're not sure if you can come down, but you should try to make it down. I'll stick you on a panel if you make it down here, because I'm helping run the Doctor Who track.
I'll dress up, but for other reasons. I'm still on my fix, man. I'm like the 4, 5, 6 right now. Just like, give me your Blu-rays, your DVDs, and nobody gets hurt. Right now.
I'm on a classic Who fix right now. I'm wanting to watch all the Tom Baker episodes.
Oh, those were well, they're all good, but Tom Baker was a great Doctor, and and I know you obviously like Romana because you love Gallifrey.
She's my favorite companion.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. I wanted to do something on this show. We really gave Rings of Akhatan, which was the second episode of the second half of Series 7. We gave it a bit of a... We dumped on it, pretty much. We said we didn't like it. We told you why we didn't like it. And I just want to let you know that there are people who actually liked Rings of Akhatan, and we've got two people on our show today, Christian and Meghan, who didn't hate it. And if Ed and Trish were here, we'd be going, "Are you guys crazy? Rings of Akhatan. Why were we wrong in crucifying Rings of Akhatan?" Let me start with Christian, because Christian and I have talked about this before. Christian, why wasn't it as bad as we thought it was?
It wasn't as bad. I mean, the series in general, for the most part, was okay. The Rings, I just thought there was, when we mentioned the last podcast a while back, it had potential. It just didn't execute it right. There was so much going on for it, but it was almost like, okay, we've got this monster. Okay, we've got this little girl. Okay, we've got the story of Clara, and then we're going to all mix it together, and then we're going to put them on different planets, and then all of a sudden there's this monster in the sun, and then bloom, it was over. Like we were talking about during the break, when Meghan was saying, this was a 2-part episode. It could have worked that way. Yeah. And I think it kind of deserved that. I mean, there were a lot of them. Cold War, I think Hyde, maybe even Journey to the Center of the TARDIS. I think there was a lot of episodes. Gosh, and getting used to a Moffat of like, okay, this is an entire series. There's 7 here and 8 over here. So I mean, as opposed to here's 13 episodes and a couple of them are split up during RTF's Russell T Davids' time.
That was a pattern with his. It was like a single 2-parter, and then a single one, and then a 2-parter, and then the series finale later.
Right, we could have done that with a few episodes, and I think Rings of Akhatan too. But I'm not I'm not a big music fan, but it escalated and worked out to where the relationship, like the guy who was inside the temple, who was he? Why did he disappear? That was it. Why do we even bother having him?
Padding. The robot, the mummy, whatever it was, that felt like padding. That's why when you say it should have been a 2-parter, I think it should have been a 25-minute episode. They could have cut out that whole segment and just gone with the sun god.
Yeah, they should have gone.
When they had that mummy, I thought they were bringing back Sutek.
Right. That's what all the spoilers are. All the rumors on the net were that this was going to be an Egyptian, more of a serious and Sutek. And instead, it had nothing to do with it. And why were there even pyramids on another planet?
They could have expanded more on the monster. And then later on, we could have found out there was, it could have been like a Wizard of Oz type thing. Here's the creature, here's the wizard, but really behind it is the monsters right there. There's the sun ready to expand on it. The scene where...
Maybe it's given a visual, like, that's what we want you to think the monster is. And then it sets up to the...
No, I got you, Megan,
thing.
but it just didn't seem to be explained. It just seemed like, here's a pit stop between that and the sun.
Yeah.
And we could have easily just gone to the sun and fought it.
Yeah.
We could have easily just deleted the whole thing, those creatures that came out of nowhere. The
wraiths.
I mean, what was that? So I thought it had a lot of potential. It wasn't a bad episode. It's probably in my top 1,000, probably at 995.8.
And how many episodes of Doctor Who are there? This is in your.
I'm sure there are more than that.
If you count the missing ones.
Yeah, just a heck of it just had a lot of potential, but nowhere to go. If we had more explanation about the guy in the temple, if we had more explanation about the monster, and the other scene that kind of drove me nuts was that all the way back at the end of the scene where Clara and the girl come up and start, and go on the Flash Gordon hovercraft to go over to save the Doctor. She knew exactly what to do. I mean, she wasn't on the planet. So I always thought that maybe that quote that they kept saying, we never run away. That she should, even though the Doctor told her to go away, she should have stayed right there.
No, we never walk away. No,
we never walk
away. They definitely run. I mean, when I say run. The running has always been important in Doctor Who, but the line was, we never walk away.
Right. That's what I was trying to convey, that maybe she should have stayed on that asteroid, and then she would have known what to do next by watching the Doctor and all the memories. Then when she came out with the leaf, then we could go, oh, she was there and she didn't run away, or she didn't walk away, as per se. And we now understand that, she got it and that she's more clever than she expected. She was way back over there with the audience going like, oh, okay, so how does she know what to do when they get back over there? So, I mean, there's just a lot of potential. I think Neil Cross probably wrote something maybe further than they got cut, or Farron Blackburn just cut out a lot of it. And that's why I was saying, we always see on BBC America, what do they cut out? Because you'll find out later that when we see the episode in its entirety, there was something that we were missing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there was definitely a few things in the Name of the Doctor that were missing. I was reading that there was a clip of her saving the 10th Doctor in the library.
Oh, yeah. There was they had a shot of that. It was a couple of seconds of that.
Because I didn't see it.
BBC America, when they put the commercial breaks in, they seem to put it in at the worst time possible. The Nightmare in Silver, the scene where the Cybermen are walking out of their tomb, and it's a beautiful, shot, a wide shot CGI of like thousands of Cybermen. They showed it for like a second on BBC America and cut to a commercial. It lasted about 5-6 seconds on the BBC, and it looked amazing, but you didn't get the full effect of it on BBC America. I hate commercials.
I don't think it's just commercials. It's just that, and a lot of people have been asking, hey, BBC America, we don't mind you pulling this out to 90 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll watch the whole thing. We just want, we want everything on.
But then they'd have to put more commercials in. They should do what they do for the Christmas episodes. Give it, at least for the first showing, a 75-minute time slot. So that they can fit the whole episode, at least on the first time. Then when they show it over again, it would be nice to be longer, but Megan, tell us about Rings of Akhatan and why I should have liked it.
Well, Christian brought up some good points on why it wasn't perfect, but I liked it because it gave a little bit of a backstory to Clara and confused the Doctor more. I mean, it didn't push the mystery of her, but it, added to the, since she was born a human, well then how is she, how is she splintered, how is she here and here? So
right.
I like that. I like musicals, so I did like the singing.
That's why I thought it was going to be a good episode. I used to sing opera when I was a child professionally in New York, and I thought, the music is going to be great, and it still fell flat.
I liked her comforting the little girl because it, showed her more maternal instincts in there because she doesn't have a mom, so.
And I guess it would also show the nanny, the fact, that, she's good as a nanny.
What she's doing without the Doctor there.
Yeah.
And, instead of just going, oh, well, where did he go? I'll just stand here and wait. No, she went off and did what many companions do. Get into trouble.
Yeah.
And
those pesky companions, they always seem to get in trouble and the Doctor has to save them. But actually, I mean, in Rings of Akhatan, at least she got to say, she did, at the end, she kind of saved the day. It wasn't, the Doctor couldn't do it on his own. And that's what a companion should be for, to help the Doctor.
Oh, yeah. She was giving what could have been type of memories. I thought that was an interesting little thing, type of payment. You give something of value. The problem I had with it was that it wasn't a two-parter. Mm-hmm. I didn't see the point of the mummy because there was a bigger creature there.
Yeah.
And I felt the ending was rushed like many of the other episodes.
Yeah. I think the mummy was there. It was like a video game where you fight the little battles, and then they have the boss character, which would have been the sun god. We were watching that. They were playing that video game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy that video game. I'm sorry.
The Rings of Akhatan video game?
The Rings of Akhatan video game coming soon to BBC computers.
I would buy it if I could ride the Flash Gordon cart.
Oh yeah,
to dodge the other asteroids or something like that. Yeah, that would be worth it. I would buy it.
I like bits and pieces of the episode. It wasn't a complete and utter piece of trash. And to be honest, I don't think any Doctor Who is a complete and utter piece of trash. I mean, people don't like, let's say, Horns of Nyman. Well, you know what?
Oh, I like that movie.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. There were some really cool things about it, and
especially when Rwana took charge.
Oh yeah, but you know, what other episodes? Oh, okay, the Gunfighters. Everyone used to say the Gunfighters was the worst episode. You know why it was the worst episode? Because it had the lowest ratings up to that point. It isn't that bad an episode. It is not. Yes, they're singing. They're singing in that story too, and the singing is like a ballad. But you know what? It's not that bad. The show was very inventive back on the William Hartnell days, and they were trying something different. The whole episode took place around the OK Corral. Well, you know,
So what you're saying is we should have singing in Doctor Who. It just ruins.
Singing in Doctor Who, you just have to.
It ruins. But then again, somebody explain to me Delta and the Bannermen, because
Delta and the Bannermen. There are some. I like that they, you know, the fact that they had all these old school comedians showing up. Ken Dodd and as the person who was in charge of the space base they were on to collect tolls, the toll master, and they had other comedians as secondary characters, and it was a kind of fun episode. They were trying to go to Disneyland. Where have I heard Disneyland? They're trying to go to Disneyland in the 50s, and they end up in a holiday camp, kind of like Heidi High, a great Britcom that they had, and you know, and yeah, there's.
I know a few of Peter Davison's episodes were the highest rated, but the actors themselves didn't enjoy them. Like Black Orchid.
Black Orchid
was supposed to. I read that it was one of the highest rated. It was when I was doing the Adric facts on Facebook.
Yeah, and like I said, Adric ate like a pig in that story.
Well, anyway, it was the highest rated, but the actors hated it. In the commentary, they didn't like dressing up on all those costumes and.
Well, see, no, that's weird because in Britain they're very, very good at period pieces. You'd think they wouldn't hate dressing up in 19.
I think Peter Davison just enjoyed the cricket part.
Oh, he bowled well. He bowled well in that. They actually got a good shot of him. Yeah.
That reminded me of the 11th Doctor being good at football.
Well, the Doctor should be good at something.
Either that or Romana's going to show him up. And then she's going to brag about it to him later.
So, you know, I want to go a little off topic here. Let's talk about Gallifrey, the Big Finish audio adventure series that takes place on Gallifrey with Romana and Leela. I don't want to really give spoilers away because it's such a good epic story. But Andred, the whole Andred stuff. Poor Leela.
You know, and he was right there the whole time. He was just regenerated.
Yeah, but he regenerated into such a what's the word I'm looking for? Bastard. Andred was definitely.
Yeah, he was a very hateable character.
Oh my God!
But you know, he could have chosen not to live as that guy for several months.
Right.
You know, as Torvald, he could have just gone back to Leela, but he didn't. He decided, I want to investigate the Celestial Intervention Agency.
Yeah.
You know, that could have been a post-regenerative. Oh, I know what I'm going to do.
He was having he had a post-regenerative crisis that lasted a long time. Then, if we're being
that was his excuse. And then even Romana was like, "Oh, don't give me that."
Yeah, let me just say we're being very cryptic here. You should listen to Gallifrey. It's available at BigFinish.com. It's a great story. President Romana. And even the Lala Ward, of course, because that's when she got lost in E-Space. But it's so full of pageantry. You learn about the history of Gallifrey. You learn. Now, if I'm correct, she was trying to open up Gallifrey to have school. I mean,
she was trying to She was trying to bring Gallifrey into the universe and not make them so insular.
And of course, we know that in the end, it all didn't work out because
there were so many older time. Well, also there were older Time Lords saying, "No,
yeah,
you stupid woman."
But Romana's anything but stupid.
No, she isn't.
Yeah. All right. But Rings of Akhatan. Back to Rings of Akhatan. Now, I know we went off subject there. Were there any
about Gallifrey all day?
Oh, I bet you could, Megan. I bet you could. One day we will. One day we're going to have a big finish episode, and we're going to bring you on because I know you've been listening to them.
I've listened to a lot of Eighth Doctor stories too. And I listened to Zagreus and Neverland, and the end of Zagreus. I did not like the Eighth Doctor because of how
not
cruel he was to Romana.
Zagreus. Yeah.
Zagreus.
Yes, you are Zagreus.
I didn't like how mean he was to Romana in the end, so. Yeah. Because she didn't deserve that. Well, she helped him out. She put her career, her life on the line, and then he bitterly is like, I hope you enjoy it.
Again. I thought that was cute.
He was just kind of barking at her for no reason. I understand how angry he was, but other than that, I didn't like it. Sixth Doctor audios are way better.
Yeah. Charlie Pollard, though, was a good companion.
Annoying?
I like Charlie Pollard. I
liked her to an extent, but when she started getting all romantic and emotional, I lost it.
But, romantic and emotional, that seems to be all new Who is, all the companions fall in love with the Doctor.
I don't like that.
And that's why we're going to have that panel at Florida SuperCon to discuss why they're snogging in the TARDIS, for God's sake. What's going on? Folks, I think we've come to the end of the show. So we basically said that Rings of Akhatan isn't as bad as we pointed out to you 6 or 7 weeks ago. It wasn't that bad, but it could have been longer. It could have done without
the Sutek
comparison and then not actually follow up on the Sutek comparison. It could have been better.
As Eduardo would say, bring back Sutek.
Yeah.
Well, he kept saying that when
are you all right? Are you all right, Christian?
I think I got Sutek, man.
He's got the Sutek. No good. We have to end this podcast so we all catch the Sutek. You can catch it over the air, so we don't want you to get sick either. So anyway, go to our Facebook page, markwho42's Whooniverse. Visit us at geekcastradio.com, FloridaGeekScene.com. We're on Stitcher. We're on iTunes. We're at markwho42.com. Any comments or suggestions, send them to mark@markwho42.com with the subject line, question mark. That's our show for today. I'm Mark Baumgarten, and thank you very much, Christian, as usual, and Megan for helping us out this week.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
I need my fix, man. I'm the 456, man. I'm the 456. Give me all your DVDs and Blu-rays right now. I need another episode. I can't wait 6 months. Ah!
Well, we
This is
can't help you.
This is why I have Netflix.
That's right. Netflix and Amazon Prime has some Doctor Who classic on it, too.
I'm supposed to be getting some Leela episodes.
Hey, if they're putting more on, that's excellent. We'll see you guys, or you'll listen to us next week. Bye.
Bye.
I thought we were friends.
Mark Who42's Whooniverse has been written and presented by Mark Baumgarten, Christian-basel, and Meghan Laughlin. The show was produced, edited, and directed by Mark Baumgarten. Doctor Who and its properties are owned by the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation. Please remember to rate us and listen to us on iTunes and the Stitcher Radio app, and comment on our broadcast at geekcastradio.com and floridageekscene.com. Tweet us at markwho42 and check out our Facebook page, markwho42's Whooniverse. You can be contacted by email at mark@markwho42.com with the subject line, question mark. Thanks to everyone at Hurricane Who. This podcast is owned and copyrighted by Mark Baumgarten, 2013.